The papers landed on the table, crisp and final. Deportation order, 30 years. Gone, just like that. Innocent looked at the cold words, then at the face of the woman he had loved, the mother of his children, who sat across from him, completely emotionless. I woke up one morning and found out I had nothing. No house, no savings, no family, and no country to even call my own anymore. This is a story of a Nigerian man called Innocent. Innocent was a name that fit him. For over 30 years, Innocent lived in America. He had left Nigeria when he was just a young man with a small bag and big dreams. People back home used to say, "That boy go make him. He no dey play with work." And it was true. He worked as a graphic designer. Back then, when others were chasing random jobs just to survive, Innocent sat down and taught himself design. He would spend long nights in front of his old desktop, learning how to create posters, album covers, and logos. Over time, he became one of the most popular designers in his state. If you needed flyers, album art, or brand design, you called Innocent. He was trusted. He was respected. He was loved. Life wasn't easy, but he kept grinding. He built his name. He built his savings. He built his peace. He met Amarachi, a bright and charming woman, and they dated for 3 wonderful years. Their connection felt deep, real. They had 3 beautiful children, twin boys and a lovely girl. They later got married. She was sweet, calm, and supportive at the start. Innocent believed he had found peace in her. Innocent worked. Amarachi handled the home. He trusted her completely, even to the point of letting her manage his bank accounts. He thought, "Not my wife. She no go ever betray me." He was too busy creating stunning visuals for clients, earning good money, making sure his family had everything they needed. He was popular in the state, his design work sought after. Life was good, but sometimes love blinds a man. Years passed by. The cracks started small. Innocent noticed Amarachi making calls late at night. She stopped showing interest in him. She became colder with each passing day. But slowly, things started to change. Amarachi became cold. She no longer smiled at his jokes. She avoided him in the house. Innocent thought it was just stress. Marriage stress, parenting stress. But then came the news. She wanted a divorce. At first, Innocent laughed. He thought maybe she was angry and just talking. But she was serious. She filed for it. And not only did she file, she fought to take everything. Amarachi had already arranged everything with the court. She froze all accounts tied to her. She took the house, cars, everything they owned together. The law in that state gave her more power since she was the one in control of the accounts. Worst of all, Innocent's green card renewal was blocked during the divorce battle. She didn't even care if he saw the kids. The law in America wasn't on Innocent's side. Everything was in her name. It hit him like a physical blow. Innocent, bewildered, tried to understand. He wasn't an abuser, never had been. He was a cool, steady presence in their home. His immigration status, tied to his stable life and now severed, became a problem. Without a strong financial backing or the support structure he once had, the state saw no reason for him to stay. Then came the biggest blow. One morning, officers came knocking. They told him his papers were no longer valid. He had overstayed. They said his wife had reported him. After more than 30 years of living in the US within months, Innocent was deported back to Nigeria. 30 years of sweat, gone in one blink. He landed in Lagos with just one small bag. The family house was not big enough for him and his siblings. His childhood friends had all moved on. He was 48 years old, starting life from scratch. Landing in Nigeria after so many years was like waking up in another life. The country was no longer the same. The streets were louder. The heat was harsher. The faces were unfamiliar. Innocent, who had once been respected in America, was now just another man on the street in Nigeria. Broke, homeless, and forgotten. He slept on an old friend's couch for months. Sometimes he thought of ending it all. After 30 years of sweat and building, how could everything vanish overnight? He didn't drink. He didn't fight. He wasn't abusive. He had done everything right. But still, life turned against him. People in his area started calling him America returnee. Some mocked him. Some pitied him. For almost 2 years, Innocent struggled. He tried to get back into design, but Nigeria was different. Clients didn't want to pay much. They wanted work for almost nothing. He went from being a respected designer abroad to begging for 20,000 naira jobs. His siblings gathered money and helped him open a small cyber cafe. Just 5 computers. 2 were not even working well. The office was hot, with no stable power. Yet Innocent still tried. He would print documents for students, design wedding invitations, or help people fill online forms. Every night, he sat outside the shop staring at the road, wondering, how did I end up like this after 30 years abroad? Then came another blow. His mother, his biggest supporter, died of a heart attack. People said it was the heartbreak of seeing her son lose everything. That was the lowest point of his life. One day, everything changed. An old-time friend who had known Innocent back in his early hustle years heard about his condition. The friend couldn't believe it. He found Innocent sitting staring at the flickering monitor of one of his cafe computers, looking lost. A familiar voice called, now you be this. After all those years, he looked up. Standing there, a wide grin on his face, was Beo, his childhood friend. Beo, who had left for the US years before Innocent was home for a visit. They embraced, a long, heartfelt hug that spoke volumes of shared history and unspoken pain. You, Innocent the big graphics guy, now you days suffer like this. Innocent, usually reserved, poured out his story to Beo. The marriage, the betrayal, the deportation, his mother's death. The friend couldn't believe Innocent's story. This is not right, my brother, he said, shaking his head. You deserve better, much better, bro. Beo owned a successful tech company in the US, specializing in software development. He saw the talent in Innocent, the raw skill that was being wasted in a dusty cybercafe. He saw the fire in his friend's eyes, even through the pain. A few weeks later, that same friend made him an offer. Come back with me. You're too talented to waste here. Let's go back. I'll help you settle again. Beo urged, you can work for me. We'll start fresh. You'll get your feet back. It felt like a dream. Innocent hesitated, the fear of another fall heavy on him. But Beo was persistent, reminding him of the man he used to be. The artist, the fighter. He arranged everything. Within a few weeks, Innocent was on a plane again, heading back to the US, but this time, with his friend by his side. Back in the States, Innocent started working with Beo. He was an instant asset. His decades of experience and unique eye for design breathing new life into Beo's projects. He learned new software, adapted to modern trends, and soon, his old spark returned. He wasn't just working, he was thriving. He saved diligently, rebuilt his finances, and bought a modest home. He slowly began to rebuild. He found new clients, and his amazing graphic design skills quickly became known again. This time, he was wiser, more careful, and even more determined. His ex-wife was shocked hearing that Innocent had returned to the US after some years. She had sold out all the properties she forcefully collected from her husband, later stayed in a rented apartment, and she later became a drug addict. He secured his own legal status, built his own finances, and focused on his work. After about 2 years later, he was dying of reconnecting with his children. It wasn't long, he reconnected with his children. As they grew older, they understood more of what had happened and began to seek out their father, recognizing the truth of his character. Their relationship slowly, carefully, began to heal. His children began to live with him. Innocent, at 50, then 55, then 60, became stronger than ever. The betrayal had nearly broken him, but it had also forged him into someone more resilient, more aware. He found peace, not in forgetting the past, but in overcoming it. He built a new life, not just for himself, but also as a testament to the fact that even when everything is lost, a good man can always find his way back, especially with a true friend by his side. That had been said. He later built 2 houses in the village, for himself and his siblings. This is not a fairy tale. This is not some sweet love story. This is the reality of a man who gave his all and was left with nothing, yet still stood up again. We hope you enjoyed this powerful story. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share what you learned in the comments below. Your feedback means the world to us. Another inspiring and interesting story is coming your way in few days, so make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification button to be the first to watch when we upload. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and share to your family and friends. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.